Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the new adaptation of Roald Dahl's The Witches, which is out on HBO Max. Now, this film was originally supposed to be in theaters and then bought by HBO Max and been like, Halloween time, boom, there you go. And this is written and directed by Robert Zemeckis, who has had some great films, obviously, with, he made Back to the Future. And recently, Welcome to Marwen, which it's one of the strangest films I've seen in a long time. And I wasn't quite sure how to feel about this film going in, but the strangest thing is, it feels pretty bland in how it's directed in terms of style, that I'm like, couldn't really even tell Robert Zemeckis directed this. And that's a shame, because he does have talent, he does have a specific style and an energy and a heart that could have really been brought to this film, but it just kind of feels serviceable in terms of how it's directed. The pacing is a bit wonky. How the story is structured, it takes forever to get this film going to like your call to action, them going off to this hotel, is so far into the movie that everything that happens afterwards feels so rushed, that there's so much setup and then so little time for the action and the plot to really play itself out that all of it felt rushed. So like the pacing was off. But at every moment there's some amazing music from Alan Silvestri, so it kind of just makes it all better. And there's really bad CGI in this film, and they rely on it a lot. Like, the designs of the witches are really creepy. I like them. That was a different choice from what they look like in the Nicholas Roeg film. But like all the animals look horrible, and there's so many just stereotypical, cliched kind of like chase sequences or little suspenseful moments that it just feels like your run-of-the-mill kind of thing. And like, this is a Roald Dahl story. I love Roald Dahl. He was such a great children's author, and there's so much personality and everything to his stories that it's just like they had so much to work with, and this feels like it just leans in too heavily into just generic kind of things. And the climax of this film feels so rushed, so anticlimactic, and then bam, at the very end they throw this like bookend in there that has this crazy over-the-top ending, which this movie's straight up silly to begin with, but like that ending just felt so what at this point. And honestly, taking a step back and just looking at this film, it's not really creepy, it's not really scary, it's not really funny, it's just kind of silly and goofy and weird. And there's certain things in it that I really loved. Like Octavia Spencer, her character gets saddled with a bunch of exposition and she's that character, but there's so much heart and charm into her performance that I absolutely loved it. And Octavia Spencer made a lot of this film watchable. Chris Rock's your narrator, and he's being Chris Rock. He's fun. Poor Stanley Tucci, completely wasted in this movie. And like he has so much charm and charisma that they could have really utilized it, but they didn't. And then you have Anne Hathaway. I love Anne Hathaway. I really do. I think she's a great actress, and somehow underappreciated because I think a lot of people just hate her. A lot of people I've seen hated her performance in this film. I thought it was over-the-top crazy fun, but there's no substance to any of these witches, so she's just putting on a show, chewing that scenery, and with a ridiculous accent. But like, in the end, wasn't really scared, spooked, like nothing. And I didn't really have a whole lot of fun except for watching Octavia Spencer, Anne Hathaway, and listening to Alan Silvestri's score. And they all deserved a better movie. This just feels very blah. I think kids will have fun with it. Just put it on for them. And it's on HBO Max, so you don't have to go out to a theater for it either. It's hard for me to imagine this being like a worthwhile theatrical film too. It's honestly kind of felt like a streaming movie. So, Destiny. But those are my thoughts on The Witches. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.